Hi, Year 3. I've missed reading their class story. So, what I thought I would do is do a whole year group one. And we're going to read the book that is on the screen, which is called You Ain't Seen Nothing Yeti, which is the sequel to the Nothing to See Here Hotel. If you haven't read the first one, you should, it's really good. But don't worry, the story will still make sense. So there are lots of pictures to it. So when the pictures come up, I will make the bubble in the corner a bit bigger so you can see them all. Okay, I'll try and get them up as often as I can. Can't guarantee they'll be daily though. Okay, let's make a start. So you ain't seen nothing yeti. Okay, so it starts with this. I know the writing's backwards, but just to give you an idea. So lots of names. So it's a family tree. At the very top, we've got Abraham Bannister and Regurgita Glump. Okay, and then it goes down to their children, all the way down through the Bannister family to Frankie Bannister at the bottom here, which is who tells our story. A right pickle. Frankie! I jolted awake with a yelp, flailing my arms about like an upturned tortoise. The scream was so loud it echoed round my bedroom and knocked my framed portrait of great-great-great-granddad Abraham off the wall. Frankie, come quick! Sitting up in bed, I rubbed the sleep from my groggy eyes and glanced about, not sure if I was dreaming. I'd been up late last night, helping Mum with an incident in the garden. Lady Leona Gray, one of our ghost guests, had got excited about winning a game of croquet that she had accidentally exploded an ectoplasm all over a family of hobblers enjoying their evening outside. It was slime central. The lawn was furious. Hoggett, my pet pygmy soot dragon, whimpered at me from the fireplace. He glowed between his scales, and they turned a pale grey, and he puffed out a chain of tiny smoke rings, a sure sign that he was feeling nervous. Frankie, it's urgent! It was Nancy, our hotel cook, speaking to me through the yellophone, a trumpet-shaped contraption sticking out of the wall just above my head. The hotel is so big that we have a yellophone in nearly every room, so we can talk to each other wherever we are. I stayed silent for a minute, deciding whether to pretend I hadn't heard her. Normally, if Mum or Dad or Nancy call me on a yellophone in the morning, it's because they wanted me to help out with a mega boring chore around the hotel, and I wasn't about to do that. I'm not noggin bonked after all. We've got a picture of his little dragon there. Cool to have a pet dragon. Answer me, dear, please! I picked up my pointy ears. Nancy's voice sounded high-pitched and panicked. We're in a right pickle! A right pickle? I gasped, then threw the blanket and jumped out of bed. If you'd spent any time in our hotel at all, you'd know that a right pickle could mean any sort of disaster. We'd had a right pickle just last week when Magasan and the Munkle smashed through the kitchen wall and demolished half the cupboards after he found out we'd run out of bread rolls to go with the seagull snot soup. Not sure if I'd want that soup. Oh, hang on a second. I've just realised that if you haven't read any of my books before, you're probably wrinkling up your forehead and saying, what on earth is he talking about? Well, don't panic. There's definitely one or two things you need to know before we carry on, but it'll only take me a moment. I'm super good at telling stories. Madam Macready, one of our Banshee guests, has said so, and Banshees are never wrong. I should probably start with an introduction. Hello, my name is Frankie Bannister, and I live in the Nothing to See Here hotel. Ever been to stay here in your holidays? Ha! Of course you haven't. It's the best holiday destination for magical creatures in the whole of the UK. And we have a strictly no human policy. Well, no humans unless you're married to a magical, like my mum. She's completely human, and my dad is what's known as a halfling, which makes me a quarterling, I suppose. Yep, I'm 1/36th troll and proud of it. Ever since my great human granddad, Abraham Bannister, married my great granny troll, Regurgita Glump, about 100 years ago, my family tree has been a proper muddle. It's full of trolls, humans, witches, bog grunts, puddle nymphs, and just about every other type of magical creature you can think of. Brilliant, huh? Let's not worry too much about all that family stuff now, though. I'll fill you in on the details as we go, I promise. Plus, I've stuck a picture of my family tree at the beginning of this book for you to have a peek at. Now, I know it all seems a bit impossible. I'm sure it sounds like a bunch of silly, nong-nump bumps, but I'm not even kidding. If you've read my first book, you'll know that Frankie Bannister never tells lies. My name really is Frankie Bannister. I really do live with my mum and dad, Ranny and Bargatus, in a hotel for magical creatures in Brighton seafront. And Nancy, the giant spider, oops, I forgot to mention that part, had just ruined my sleep, warning me about a right pickle. So before you throw this book in the bin, shouting, "I'm not reading this, Frankie Bannister has popped his clunkers, this is going to be the weirdest tale ever," read on just a tinsy bit more. You'll be hooked in no time. I just know it. "Nancy," I barked into the metal trumpet of the yellophone. "I'm here." "Oh, Frankie, I've been calling you for yonks and yonkers." "What happened?" I shouted, suddenly feeling a queasy mix of excitement and fear bubble up in my tummy. "A plague of turnips, a noggin of in the swimming pool, a coachload of stink demons." Got a picture of Nancy and the yellophone here. We've got Nancy, the giant spider who cooks their dinners, and the yellophone, and you can see it going all the way over to Frankie. "No, my dearie," Nancy wailed. "It's much worse than that. Get down here as quick as you can. It's ruined. The day is ruined." I didn't need telling twice. I scooped Hoggett out of the fireplace, jumped into the armchair in the corner of my room, clicked the dial on its arm to the correct position, and impatiently waited as it juddered down through my bedroom floor to the library below. That takes us to the end of the first chapter.